The Ophidian by Anthony Reynolds Lena. A short story from League of Legends. Read to you by Prestige Edition.
No, that seat's not taken. Pull up a chair and sink a few, friend. Though that might be a poor turn of phrase, given my history. I've seen a few shipwrecks. Been in one myself, I suppose, back when I was young, like you. Her name was the Ophidian, that ship. Pulled down beneath the jagged straits. I was the only survivor, too, mind. Maybe you buys me a drink and I'll tell you about it. This? No, this coin's not for spending, friend. That's my lucky kraken, for to pay the tithe. The tithe? You know the tithe. Everyone knows about the tithe. Pay the tithe, or face the ocean's wrath. Oh, by the bearded lady. Then you never heard of Nautilus either? The Titan of the depths? Barkeep, pour us around. Barkeep, there's a good lass. This is a tale that needs an ale, as they say, and my friend here's buying. That's the good stuff, that is. 'Twas almost 30 years back now, returning from a hunt. I was a harpooner, finest shot in the slaughter fleets. We'd caught ourselves an axefin leviathan, aye, one of them big mean boggers. We was hauling the beast back to port. It was just before dawn. Bilgewater city lights flickered in the distance, beckoning us in. There were razorfish and berserker sharks following close by, 'cause the axefin was oozing into the water, see. And our captain? Well, none of us much cared for him. Untrustworthy sort. He swears blind he paid the tithe afore we left. A single gold kraken, he said, for 'tis all I have to give. But none of us seen him throw it over the side, now did we? So naturally we was suspicious, 'cause we knew he was a tight-fisted old wharf rat. But we sailed on anyway. And that was when the Titan hit us. Without warning, this bloody great anchor comes at us from below, smashed clean through the keel, up through the main deck, caught us tight, and started pulling us down. Oh, it was chaos, friend. Sailors thrown overboard, the water's churning, scavengers feeding. I grabs the captain, screaming at him, "You're a liar! This is the lady's punishment for those as don't pay!" The ship was going down fast. But then the planking gave way, didn't it? And the anchor slid back into the depths. If it had ended then, more of us might have got away. But it weren't over. Nautilus weren't done with us yet. The ship tipped to starboard right sudden. It was the weight of the Titan himself, hauling up onto the deck. Perhaps once it had been a man, but it weren't no man I saw that night, rising from the waves. I has our captain by the throat. "This is your doing," I roared, as I choked the bastard, his eyes wide. He can see Nautilus is coming for us. So I shoves the captain away, down the slanted deck, and this thing catches him in one hand, if you can believe it. It was so big, the fingers closed completely around his body, and the captain weren't a small man by any stretch. "There's your tithe," I yells, and jumped overboard. I don't know how long I was in the water. Must have only been seconds, but it felt like an age. But the sea scavengers didn't get me, Mother Serpent be praised. Pulled myself up onto one of them stone pinnacles out there in the straits, and I watched the Ophidian sink. Nautilus still held the captain, squirming and wriggling like a stuck worm. But there were no escaping that grasp. The Titan was just standing there, motionless as a statue. I watched him go down into the darkness. Why spare me? Don't rightly know. Perhaps I was the only one to make an offering. Or maybe Nautilus wanted someone left alive to tell the tale. But on the darkest Bilgewater nights, when the murder fogs roll in, you might hear 'em wading out from the shallows, slow and steady-like, dragging that accursed anchor in his wake. Want my advice, friend? Keep a coin in your pocket, and always pay the tide. And don't trust no captain who says he done it, unless you seen it for yourself. After all, you might not be so lucky as me.
Thanks for listening. All credit for these stories goes to Riot Games and League of Legends. Full details can be found in the video description. If you enjoyed this production, please hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more coming.